Well, I kind of draw on my own personal experience. You grew up in a neighborhood as a mixed race child, um, and you don't have any role models, particularly when you talk about men of color. Um, you got to first try to find that inspiration wherever you can in your family. I was lucky that my mom and my mom's family and her network of friends, um, as well as Catholic school that we went to in the church, gave us some opportunity. But having found all of that, myself, sometimes I had to look to others and ask. And what I would tell that young man or young woman is nowadays your future is so, so bright in the sense that some of the barriers to entry are not there. Okay? So, for example, many of these young people out here may not have the money to go to college. Okay? Um, they may be going to school systems that somehow they're not getting all they can. But everybody has a cell phone. And everybody can learn the potential to code, that there are jobs right there that you could go get into right now. And you don't necessarily have to have a 4-year degree. Okay? But you can go learn. Um, the military, has always been an option for people who could not maybe afford to go to school or didn't think they were eligible. But they are looking for people with good work ethic, and there's an opportunity. And like I said, this is where cyber plays a big role. And so, and in a lot of these jobs, they're looking for people who are citizens. Okay, so that is an opportunity. I think the other thing, going back to a place like Morgan, is Morgan was set up to take the stone that the builders rejected to become the cornerstone, in this case, the cornerstone of Baltimore City and the proud tradition that it brings. And I would say, you may not be able to afford the entire education, but you can afford to take a course, and you can always afford to learn. And with that, to try to develop some mentorships and relationships with people to be successful. And now, what do I mean by be around successful people? I'm not talking about people who have lots of money or lots of material wealth. But I always look at people who are successful, which when you look at them, they got 8 hours of sleep at night. And you know why? Because they're at peace with themselves and at the world. That doesn't mean they have to deal with a lot of day-to-day issues. But if you ask somebody, where do you see yourself 20, 30 years from now? More than likely, they want to say, hey, look, I'd like to be in some sort of career. I maybe like to have a family. I like to have a roof over my head. Then once you get them, say, well, then what are you prepared to do that? And while you got to work hard to do that, I think if you understand what people's dreams are and identify their passions, what we can do for those of us who are further along in our journey of life can give back. Because here's one thing we want to give to that young man or young woman: hope. And hope is a good thing. And when you can give the world hope and you can pass that on and you can tell your story, in some measure you've changed the world. I know for myself, if it wasn't for a lot of people in my life, starting with God, my mom, my siblings, my family, teachers, and employers that came along, I wouldn't be here talking to you, because 75% of at least the men in my neighborhood that I grew up with, are either dead, locked up, or strung out. And so there is opportunity and there is hope, but you got to believe in it.